the way that you're portraying yourself, the way that you wear your clothes, if you have tattoos or not, it's gonna tell everything the society needs to know. And by society, I mean you, I mean others, I mean people around you will think about you, like, but there is no way, like, how our brains are made to recognize patterns. Our brains are lazy into that. It's like, it's top one tier of what our brains can do, like, our brains specialized on it.
The Age of Ugly is Over by Sydney Watson channel, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's watch it.
I have hair in my armpit.
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy.
So,
We can see
your
that,
child has
but you're
come
not
out to
sexy.
you.
I've had the revelation that I identify
What
as
the
non-binary.
fuck?
I am still not certain what to make of this. Hi, my name is
Welcome
Sydney.
back to
Welcome
hell.
back to hell. So before we do this, before we do the meat and potatoes, two very important things. Number one, new tea is here. It's finally in stock.
Yay,
so I have
the
been
tea
packing
hack.
and shipping
Thank you,
your
Sydney.
orders. Once again, on a serious note, thank you guys so
I'm
much for
joking,
being
I love
patient.
you.
I know that these pre-sale times are very long, but I am so excited for you to try the new tea. I think you'll really like it, and if you don't, I'll force you. But number two, and more importantly,
Oh.
your girl, your Hell Gondola director, stick wielder, your girl is going on tour in October, so in a couple months there will be 9 shows, which means that we can all meet and gather together on our Hell Gondola, and you're gonna love it. And you might be wondering, Sydney, what precisely are you gonna do that's gonna entertain us? And that, Simon, is a great question. I have been thinking about this for a number of months and have some of my own fun ideas, but honestly, I actually really would like input from all of you because you guys also have good ideas. So tell me, what do you want to see? Maybe a little bit of this. Or a little bit of this.
Oh, God.
But you weird internet people know what ain't
That
manly
was something.
when my testicles get squished and touch my legs. Who knows? But what I do know is that you should all 100% go into my description box, buy some tickets, and come see me. And I'll see you, and it will be wonderful because on an actual serious note, I do love running into you guys in everyday life, so I think this will be that but times 1,000. And that sounds like a lot of fun. And I promise from the bottom of my little heart, I will not bore you. I promise you that. Anyway, tickets in the description box.
I
Get
believe
around
you.
it.
I
am
believe you.
very much looking forward to meeting all of you guys and you guys meeting each other because although this is not a cult, it could be. Okay, back to the video. So the other day I was perusing the internet, as I do. It's a problem really. And I came across a tweet that perfectly encapsulated a thought that I have also been having recently. In response to a new picture of Demi Lovato looking very feminine and beautiful, the author wrote, said this on Instagram not too long ago, but there was this weird trend where people, mainly celebrities, were uglying, that's very hard to say, uglying themselves, embracing
Uglying
gender
themselves.
dysphoria, and just overall promoting mental illness / an unhealthy lifestyle. It was roughly between the years 2016 to 2023. Something shifted at the end of 2023, and it suddenly became cool to be normal and hot again. Demi Lovato
Thank
is
God.
the poster child of this phenomenon. She is indeed. Can't even remember to use her own they/them pronouns. Ironic.
Still
Oh,
mess
God.
up sometimes and
Oh, God.
say, oh, I can't wait to be an aunt one day, and I'm like, wait.
But the reason seeing this post was so funny to me is because ages ago I had actually partially written a video asking why
Your pronouns are so important to yourself that you forget about them. Wow. Well, amazing, but you not only claim but expect people to remember them and call them out, call you by that, like, correctly. Wow, it's such an amazing idea. Oh my God.
absolutely everything and everyone was so ugly. Modernity, Sydney. It's because of modernity. This was apparently the same idea that a lot of
Yes,
other YouTubers
modernity
and
is
journalists
ugly.
had as well,
Yes.
spanning multiple social and cultural ideas, with some commenting on how art and entertainment are both soulless and bland, how modern fashion is hideous, and the general unattractiveness associated with wokeism.
Why is everything so ugly?
Why is everywhere we go, all of our stores,
You know you're
our
not that pretty
advertisements,
yourself,
like
you know?
everything that we interact with as people
I'm
in the outside
sorry.
world,
Someone
our
has to
TV, our
say it.
music, why is it all so ugly?
Because, as we've all learned over the last number of years, there is a reason why the blue-haired feminist stereotype persists. And we can all identify who is a they-them
Oh,
based on appearance
YaBoiSheen is
alone.
spreading
I don't
hate
like lying to
online.
the world about like who I am.
Oh
And the,
no!
the
What the
temper
hell is
tantrums
this? Oh
and screaming.
God! No, Sydney. No, it's a jump scare. Oh God!
Not too long
no,
ago,
please
I
no.
even remember watching the Irish
Oh,
entrant for
no.
the Eurovision Song Contest and thinking, how did we end up here, where this type of thing has
Aw.
become culturally normalized? And people are clapping?
Do you know what makes me special? I'm a queer.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! No, no, please! Here we go again! Oh my God! Oh my God! I really. How can I look at a person like this and call it a human being? Like for real? I'm not just saying this like for I just can't. I just can't without all my being put myself in the shoes of people like this, you know? For real, I just can't. And not because I'm not empathetic enough. I am very empathetic to people. The thing is that this situation that they are, the not only the queer we are talking about, but also that strange person with a lot of that behead person, you know, that shown before, like these people are so out of reality. And I'm not saying that just because of how they are externally, because you know I say this quite often here, that your internal reflects who you are outside. There is no denying that, and that's why for me tattoos are red flags. You can think whatever you want, you can like them. It's up to you, okay? But I have my opinion. I will judge people automatically with my preconcept because our brains are built for that. People who are like that portray themselves like out in society, like with a lot of tattoos in the body, or like the more the worse, you know, and like the way they clothe themselves, like that queer, that oh my God, that drag queen. I don't know how to call that. I don't know. I don't understand the stuff, and I don't want to. I don't even want to, because it's unnecessary. Like, and that pink hat person with a lot of pins beside her face. His face. That face. I don't know what that is. If it's a man or woman. I don't even understand what is that person, to be honest. And I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this to make fun of them or anything like that. This is not my intention here. I just want to understand what leads a person that was born like a human being, like a plain piece of paper, you know, clean, blank, to all the story of his life, her life, or whatever, be written there. And at what point this living being stopped being a human and became this? Like, what life decisions, what problems arised, what kind of difficulties, what kind of dilemmas, what kind of history this person had to ended up becoming like this? I just cannot understand. Like, even if you were born like in the worst case possible scenario, and believe me, I'm near one of them myself here, you know, but even in the worst case possible, I mean, of course they're worse than mine, but at least my family is not my family is a very very loving and caring family, and my parents, I mean, at least. But I know most people don't have luck with that. But well, everything else like sucks in my life. Like, this is the only thing that saved me, actually. Maybe that's why I was like I had the chance to be beauty, like kinda different from my neighbor, you know, the way I'm not saying, guys, I don't want to say that I'm special or anything. And I don't want to make this about myself. It's just how my brain works. I float from a lot of different topics. I go back and forth. And I lost myself many times. I'm sorry. But I guess you guys are here for that. So listen. And then... And then that's why I think I'm very different from my environment here. You know, I'm very, very different from everyone else here. And I need to fake to be like them, you know? That is so horrible. And I need to fake my entire life to be one of them. And I just don't feel good with that. But let's get back to the topic here. The thing is, it doesn't matter how much I try to put myself in the shoes of a person like this. No experiences in the life of a person can make someone become like this naturally. There is no way that this happens naturally, okay? I will not even say, I even take care to say artificially like it was made by media and other stuff. There is that too. But I still believe that it's something very spiritual related to all of this. Oh, Mizuki, you're gonna talk about Christianity in your channel. Yes, I'm Christian. I'm not the best example possible of Christian. Much the contrary, and one of the worst case possible. But yeah, I believe in God, and well, with that aside, putting that aside, I still think that putting my religion aside, I still think that is something spiritual. I don't think a human being can become something like this that we've seen here without like spiritual presence making them not making them, because you are taking entirely their responsibility on this. And I think even though the spirit, these demons and all of this stuff, they are strong, and I still think you play the main part in all of this, you know. So I still think that even so, is still on you, and is still your responsibility, you know. But yeah, I don't see a person, a living human being in the worst case scenario possible, like growing up with all difficulties and deciding to end up like this. Like naturally, this has to be something spiritual. But let's continue, or this video will be 2 hours recording, so I don't want that.
You are not queer. You are a straight person trying to be interesting. Anyway, the last decade or so has honestly been all about representation and diversity and body positivity, and recently gender fluidity, giving us, I would argue, one of the ugliest periods in history. With all of this ideological ugliness injected into absolutely everything, from politics to entertainment to media to social media. But that seemingly has come to an end recently, because finally, for the first time in a long time, being hot and normal is back in style. Thank fuck. So I want to talk about that because I find all these type of things very interesting, and also I get to remind you all about a lot of weird crap that you've probably forgotten. I'll also caveat here, among my normal disclaimers, like this video is by no means exhaustive, that obviously attractiveness and ugliness are subjective things. There's also nothing wrong with promoting self-acceptance and actual body positivity around things that you can't change. No, that does not include being shaped like the Kool-Aid man. Sorry about that. I'm also only concentrating on one specific area of this conversation, but yes, I too would like McDonald's to look like it did in the 90s. So come on board, kids. Get aboard ye old hell gondola and let's do the thing, because I am ready to re-traumatize you all. But before we once again cuddle up together, let's hear from today's sponsor, Chubbies. As all of you know, I like to make really silly ads for brands. Sorry, Murphy's down here. But for this one, the message is a little bit more serious serious, so I want to be a little bit more serious. I told all of you recently about how I have been suffering for a number of years from obsessive compulsive disorder brought on by anxiety, which thankfully has gotten better over the last number of years. Which is incredibly isolating when you're going through it, and unfortunately more and more people are suffering from anxiety and depression. So given that this issue is very, very close to my heart, when Chubbies reached out and said that they wanted to sponsor a video, I was extremely excited. These adorable little plushies are more than just a stuffed toy. They are part of a movement towards comfort, connection, and healing. And yes, they are super cute and soft on their own, let me tell you, but when you buy a Chubby, you gain access to a whole community full of therapeutic resources, stress management tools, and importantly, people who understand
now
what
that's
you are going
interesting.
through. I love this concept. I love this idea.
That is
These
very
are so
interesting.
freaking cute.
It's
And
very
honestly,
unique.
in an age where technology
It's such a good
is
idea.
isolating us
I
further
never
from
heard
one another,
before.
where we spend so much more time in our homes not connecting with one another, where a lot of people suffer in silence.
I know, guys, I know you might be thinking, oh, Mizuki is falling from the ad to the ads again. Okay, I will admit, okay? I will admit this ounce. I'm weak with ads, okay? It doesn't believe I buy all of them. Of course not. I don't have money to any of that. Not even one, but I'm really weak to ads. Like, everything seems very, like, useful, you know?
I love that somebody is trying to build a community that is going to help people and provide resources towards.
After all, that's the whole point of having a product. You have like to fulfill someone's needs in a very efficient and the less expensive possible way. And that's the whole point of a product. So that's why I always imagine like the utility. And I always see very interesting stuff. It's very difficult actually to not see something really interesting in these ads at all. But yeah.
Making them feel better within themselves. My dogs have also been going crazy ever since I got these in the mail, and anything that has Murphy's seal of approval is amazing in my books. So if you too want a cute little friend to hug and also the support of a community, then click the link in the description or go to chubbies.com, and don't forget to use code Sydney10 for 10% off your order. From
Everyone
the
likes
mid-2010s,
cute stuff.
maybe earlier, until very recently, there was a huge
Now I
cultural
see
change
something
in the
that
West
is
when it
not
came
cute.
to attractiveness.
Oh god.
There were a multitude of reasons for this, but
God.
some included a kind of knee-jerk reaction to the aesthetics of the 2000s,
Hell no.
the rise of the body positivity movement, the emphasis on living
What is
one's
this?
truth and breaking gender
What is-
stereotypes, and the
Oh,
feminist
no,
attempt
no,
to
don't make
defy
the
what
call.
men find
No.
attractive. And as a result, we got a wave of what I think has been the intentional
God, the pink
uglification of
hat.
seemingly
No,
everything
no.
and everyone.
I still don't know
I
if
see a lot of
it's a
discourse
man
on
or a
TikTok
woman.
about the male repellent outfit, and usually it's just like a cute little red cardigan and like maybe some ballet flats. But when I tell you, I'm gonna do you one more. This is the ultimate male repellent formula.
Like I mentioned, I
What
think
the
that this
fuck?
uglification is very strongly tied to the stranglehold that progressive woke ideals had on basically everything, and the aesthetics in turn showed up to match. Showed up to burn my retinas, actually. Celebrities all over the place were starting to hop on the transgender, non-binary, gender fluid bandwagon, going from being quite regular looking or attractive to ghastly overnight. People like singer Sam Smith, who came out as non-binary in 2019, and Demi
no.
Lovato,
Oh,
who came out in
no.
2021, changed their appearances to match this development. Smith started appearing on stage wearing outrageous outfits, and that's
Oh, what
honestly
the
putting
what
it
the
pretty
fuck?
mildly.
Oh god,
During
no,
various
please, no,
performances, the
Sydney,
singer
no.
wore a red
No,
latex suit
Sydney,
with
no,
devil horns,
God, no,
simulated
no,
sex acts
please.
on dancers
It's
on
enough,
stage,
it's enough, Sydney.
and danced
Okay,
around in
understand.
fishnets and
Okay,
corsets.
Sydney,
At the
okay.
2023 Brit Awards,
Okay, Sydney.
Smith wore an inflatable black Harry jumpsuit with platform heels. What am I looking at here? Head shaved, strange
What the
outfits
fuck
and
is
makeup,
that?
doing
What the
whatever
fuck is
could be
that?
done to appear as non-conventional as possible. And these are just a few examples of the physical changes. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to show you any
Oh,
others.
no.
This one is just very
No,
upsetting.
don't
All
show.
on its
We
own.
don't need
Sometimes
anymore.
I genuinely
Please,
feel like
Sydney.
stylists actually hate the people that they're styling. Because why would you do this? Anyway, Demi Lovato followed much the same path. In 2021, after her non-binary announcement, Lovato shaved her head, saying that the act was liberating and helped her shrug off
Oh
gender
my
and
God.
sexuality norms. Soon, she opted for baggy, grungy clothes and got a giant spider tattoo on the side of her head, as
What
you
the
do. Around the same
fuck?
time, she also freaked out about a frozen yogurt shop after being triggered by their selection of sugar-free options due to her previously having an eating disorder.
How can people do this to themselves and think that is cool? How? Why? Why do they do this to themselves? I think that it's something. They look themselves at the mirror later and think, this looks nice. How? Why? Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. What am I supposed to say here? Really, what am I supposed to say here? I just lack words, I just lack words. What am I supposed to say about this? Oh my god, how can one look at herself in the mirror after, making half of her head bald and make a spider on it? What the fuck? But of course, she's famous and actress. What I believe, that's just my opinion, that a lot of big corporations and a lot of governments pay huge piles of money for her soul, so she will be like a puppet, like a doll on her hands that they can dress or do whatever they want with her, because they just bought her literally. So yeah, for me, artists or these famous people are just tools in the hand of these people, and they don't actually have free will. All they do is follow what they are what they are told to do, you know? They just throw them money, piles and piles of money, and tell them what they are supposed to do and how they should be influencing the people in society. That's how everything is working. That's how everything works. And I don't understand how people don't think about that. But, Mizuki is so conspirationist. Whatever. Think what you want. This is what I believe in. It's not something recently I see like this, in ages already. You know, and I know a lot of people still do not pay attention on that.
But somewhere between then and now, both musicians moved very far away from this kind of appearance. Thank God. Lovato publicly ditched the non-binary thing, telling outlets back in 2022 that it was a lot of effort correcting people who used the wrong pronouns. Soon she got married, and now she's making cute cooking videos. In fairness to Demi Lovato, she was a Disney kid, which I feel answers a lot of questions in and of itself, and she has had a lot of struggles with addiction and with mental health and whatnot. So I think that her becoming what she is now and sort of returning to this feminized, feminine version of herself probably has more to do with tackling those existing issues rather than, I don't know, jumping off of the weird gender identity bandwagon. As far as Sam Smith goes, I don't know. But I do know that very recently, actually in the last couple of days, he posted 2 very nice looking pictures on Instagram and has essentially scrubbed his weird era from the platform entirely. So do with that what you will. This same transformation went for people like
What
Miley
the
Cyrus,
fuck?
Billie Eilish, and even Lizzo. All women who promoted specific,
What
fairly
is
visually
this?
unappealing
Oh,
aesthetics,
no.
only to later turn
Oh,
around and more or
God.
less embrace normalcy.
Oh god,
And I
no,
think this was
no.
guided by gender identity and this social concept of living one's truth
Oh
and
God,
being
she's
one's
so
authentic
ugly.
self. Basically, every single one of these people, with the exception of Lizzo, but we'll come back.
And the worst thing is that I cannot believe that people themselves, I understand those artists. Some of them really think that is okay, selling their souls for money. Literally. Some of them think that is okay. Nice. Good for them. But I don't understand people people who follow them. I don't understand people following them, you know? I don't understand what leads a person to look at Miley Cyrus and think that she's a good example in society, you know? And stuff like that. People like her, for example. You know? They're just so fucking weird. This is so fucking stupid. Oh god, what has happened with people?
back to her later, has claimed to be gender fluid or non-binary or some part of the LGBT community. And we see exactly this reflected in women, predominantly, over on TikTok. I am very sorry for what I'm about to show you. No, I'm not.
Oh no, not
I am
again,
lying.
Sydney.
It is
no,
not a joke
no,
that you
no.
can look at someone and their
Sydney.
particular aesthetic and be more or less able to identify their political
Oh
leanings and
God,
beliefs.
no,
Some
please,
sexy
Sydney.
and
Oh
chubby, man.
no,
Why do you
no,
want to
no.
diet?
Oh God,
Because
no,
I
my
like to
eyes.
eat. Is
How
that
I will
fine?
see
The
it?
TikTok
No.
gender identity aesthetics are based
Sydney,
around
please, it's
signaling one's
enough, it's
rejection
enough,
of
Sydney.
the male and
It's
female
enough.
binary.
It's enough, okay?
Those
I don't
those
need to more.
have always been the
I
only
see
two
enough,
options,
Sydney.
guys. I'm sorry.
Sydney,
TikTok's
Sydney,
anti-fashion
please.
trends have genuinely
Please,
been an
Sydney.
attempt to appear as
Oh, God,
unattractive as
no,
possible.
no.
And outside of the gender thing, they
No.
chalk this up to breaking beauty conventions. This is why we ended up with movements like Genuhairy that encourage women to grow out their body hair.
Oh
and women
God,
proudly
no,
participated
but this
in
is not even
I'm all
okay to show
natural.
YouTube,
So I have this
Sydney.
thing called a
Fuck.
little quirk, if you will.
Oh,
I
fuck.
have hair in my armpit. I have it there for a few reasons. One,
Oh my God.
lazy.
Oh my
Two,
God, I don't want to
fuck
know
the
your
patriarchy.
reasons.
And
Just
three,
disappear from
your
my screen.
response to them tells me everything I need to know about you.
Ma'am, I
Oh
think
my
you've
God,
been shaving the
hurts.
wrong
My
part
eye
of your
hurts.
body. This is also why we ended up with such a huge fat acceptance community
God.
on the app. What initially started as body positivity, an idea that encouraged people to love themselves despite their flaws or
Ooh,
whatever,
what the fuck?
morphed into fat people wanting representation absolutely everywhere, wanting to
You know the problem. The problem with the fat people, these fat people right here that are being shown, is not that they are fat. Understand this. The problem is that these people are influencing other people to be fat like them. This is the whole fucking problem. And they claim this naturally, like if it was something good. That was something to be proud of. No, it's not. It is a sickness. Being like overweight like this, it's a sickness, you know? I understand that people have difficulty, a lot of difficulty in losing fat. I can understand that, okay? We know that. That's why it's treated like a sickness, okay? It's not easy. It's not easy, and many times your own body doesn't help you. Like, it's a type of body that has difficulty to lose fat, like a very slow metabolism, like below average, you know, something like that. That even when you eat like a normal person, you still get weight because it's slow, you know. I understand the stuff because it's really a problem, it's really a sickness, but I will never understand and accept people like being proud of it and like influencing. This is the worst of all. Influence people in being like them. Oh my God, how you influence people in being sick like you? Oh my God, you cannot expect that this. How we accepted this for so long? I mean, I never accept, but what can I do, right? But how society in general accepted it to begin with, and for so long. Wow. How? Hi. I'm sorry. Why? I don't understand. I really don't. Like, I really don't. This has to have an end as fast as possible. Like, you cannot. I'm not against fat people, okay? I'm not. This is not a problem. I will not make fun of them because it's a real problem. The thing is, you cannot influence people to be like you. You cannot influence people like be fat like you, like if it's something healthy. It isn't. Then I don't even know if this person that I'm watching here right now is still alive, because it's how dangerous this is. You're alive now, and 1 second later you can just like your heart stop and you die, or over other complications like that. You know? I don't even know if this person is still alive or not. I don't even have an idea.
To see themselves and be accommodated absolutely everywhere. This eventually turned into the
And this is a part of other thing that I say always as well here. Like, this is part of people not take accountability for their lives. Once again, they're not. It's most easy to deny everything like to deny their responsibilities, their mistakes, the neglect with their body, the neglect with their lives, with their responsibilities, with their studies or whatever, with their jobs or whatever. It's more easy to deny everything, all of this accountability in general for their life, and just keeping committing mistakes and have people to like pat their heads or their back, and say, that's nice, good job, like you do you, and etc. No, that is wrong. That is wrong. Take the responsibility of your life back to you. Do something. You're alive, you're breathing, like be better. Try to be the best you can every single day. Try to be better at least 0.0001% every day. And in 1 year, 5 years or so, you're gonna be much better. And you're not gonna have like a man haircut like I'm seeing here, you know? And maybe you even lose weight. But if you don't, that's fine. Keep trying, you know? And talking generally, saying like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I don't want this to be like toxic positivity bullshit. No, I'm seriously. What the fuck?
Trite normalization of obesity.
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy. And I am 100%.
No, you're not sexy, but yes, you are very, very much fat. And I don't even know if you're still alive when I'm watching this. Hopefully you were. I'm not gonna deny, even though I talked about responsibility and all here, and I think you are so goddamn wrong, and I'm pissed off with you. I still feel sorry for you because you're not realizing what you're doing. Like, I mean, oh my god, you should be realizing what you're doing with your life, but I bet you don't. I bet you're not even thinking about it. You're just living every single day. This is so terrible. Oh my god, this is so terrible. People destroying themselves like that and like influencing people into the same as them. That this is so stupid. And it's easier to follow her path because it's the path with less difficulties, you know? It's just easy. Just go and eat. Just do nothing. Just be just exist. You know, it's way easier than actually try and put some effort into anything. And because it's easier and in someone is influencing that to do so, people are moved by easy stuff, mostly saying, like the majority are like that. That's because the word sucks. That's because that's why the word is horrible. I don't believe that, like most people always say to me, that the majority of people is good and the least of people, the minority of people is bad. No, the majority of people is bad. That's why our words is screwed and fucked. Yes, that is. Of course, the who plays the major role in all of this are corporations and governments. I still believe that, and I will keep saying this. But come on, you cannot expect me to believe that the world is so shit like this when we have only a small minority of people doing evil stuff around it. No, the majority is evil. It's just like that.
100% glorifying obesity, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, sorry, was I too confident in my own body that
We don't need to do something about it. We don't need to. Because you're gonna cease to exist in a few years. We don't need to do nothing. Okay? But I'm sad about you still, okay? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that much. I'm a little bit sad for you. Just a little bit.
overcame so many struggles to learn how to love? Oh, she's so full of herself now. Well, who the fuck am I supposed to be full of if it ain't me?
I
am both too young and too old to be seeing this. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand loving yourself, but maybe we could do that a little less loudly. and on a treadmill. But as all of this gained in popularity, as more celebrities jumped on board, the corporate and entertainment spaces saw an opportunity to make a bunch of money. Suddenly, people like Jonathan Van Ness and Alok Vaid-Menon, a non-binary activist, were appearing in news and media absolutely everywhere. Back in 2023, Burberry published images for a Valentine's Day campaign showing a model with a most bizarre haircut, and that's honestly putting it pretty mildly, and another model with double mastectomy scars. For a high-end brand, this felt insanely out of place. I know this isn't directly related, but brands who had absolutely nothing to do with and weren't remotely in the realm of transgenderism decided to jump on the bandwagon too. Like bloody Bud Light, the redneck man beer brand, partnering with Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah, I think everyone remembers
Who was this supposed to appeal to? I do think it's interesting that Bud Light has still not recovered from this. They trans, too close to the sun. We had this overemphasis on plus-size inclusion in absolutely everything. And as many of you know, this went far beyond showing everyday normal bodies and fully branched into promoting morbid obesity. Lizzo was the poster child for this, making videos defending being fat, suggesting those critical of her size were anti-body positivity. Tess Holliday was consistently in the news, and in 2018 she appeared on the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine, sparking an intense debate around the promotion of obesity. But she wasn't the only one, and Cosmo wasn't the only magazine. In the same year, Holliday appeared on the cover of the outlet Self. A few years later, in 2022, the same outlet published a series of images of a fat influencer called Jasmine, calling her the future of fitness. She also appeared on the cover of Cosmo. Sydney, not even close. It's
the future of fitness. You guys are looking to the future of fitness. I will answer that, okay? You think as you wish, okay? I'm just saying.
She also appeared on the cover of Cosmo. Sydney, not even close. It's pronounced Jessamine, I think. I don't know why you can't read. In 2020, Calvin Klein ran ads with fat trans model Yari Jones. Why are names so hard? Why am I this way? The year before, they ran a campaign with a model who is best described as obese. Never forget what
I speak my truth. Oh my god. Oh my god, I could speak at least 30 minutes about this. Well, let's go. This is already so big.
They took from us. My issue with this specifically is that in an effort to jump on the body positivity bandwagon, what ended up happening was fat acceptance became more normalized and obesity became more normalized, and having deeply and inherently unhealthy habits
to begin with, what she speaks is a lie.
And I guess what's interesting and what kind of fits into the overall vibe of this video is that many of the primary players during this time have either faded into nothingness or they've gone ahead and lost a ton of weight. Like Lizzo, who recently popped back up after having lost a tremendous amount of weight. And honestly, she looks really great, and I think this is actually quite a cool achievement for her. Same goes for other musicians like Meghan Trainor, who once wrote a song about not being skinny and borderline attacking thin people, only to become one of us, and now she looks like a
hypocrites, but
the point is, this period of time gave us some of the most bizarre and upsetting advertising that I have ever seen. All of these brands were trying to emulate the weird gender fluid aesthetics that were coming out of TikTok, and absolutely nobody can change my mind. This is what Gen Z does to us. Stop. All the while, this ugliness was unfolding in other places as well, like in architecture and art and film and television. Even in video games, characters were getting uglier and uglier in an effort to appeal to female gamers.
Fable,
and desexualized female characters.
Female
protagonists were made fatter, less
this
attractive,
hurts.
and more bland.
This too hurts.
Gone were the sexy outfits and beautiful faces,
what is
replaced
this?
by
God.
whatever the hell this is.
Whoa,
and none of this translated. Instead, many gamers felt frustrated because nobody asked for this. I mean, one of the biggest draws of playing video games is the escapism that comes with it, so I really can't understand why that would end at attractiveness. I've also talked about this specific topic in another video in great detail, so I will link that in the description box if you're interested in actually hearing a full breakdown of this weird phenomenon. Anyway, the rise of gender ideology and the trans movement and the fat acceptance movement and body positivity and the desire to see representation everywhere basically came together and created the perfect storm of ugliness. But fast forward to, well, now, and something has changed drastically. Yes, there are still plenty of weirdos running around on social media and in marketing and advertising and whatnot, but I think largely as the gender ideology and transgender movements have completely fallen off, so too have the aesthetics that have
But have you thought about the reason that this is happening? Huh? For me, Sydney, it's all artificial. I mean, we've seen a decline, okay? We're seeing that slowly. Very much slower than it all began, but it's happening. But why is this happening? Because people won, and people are back into common sense. Because the majority are playing smart now, and decided that this is all bullshit and we need to go back to the normal? No, because people don't have any actual power. We don't have power anymore, Sydney. We never had to begin with, but we have even less nowadays. We are the majority, like, generally saying, indirectly slaves, you know? People don't realize that yet, but yes, we are at some point, at some degree, even while us here in my, well, yeah. But this is what I think. It's all made from up to bottom. Like, this is all decided by big corpus and government. No one will change my mind about that. If these things are happening, it's because they changed it, that buttons up there and decided that this has to end. You see that all their movements are always articulated. They never do one thing alone. It's always in a group. It's always in large hordes. Like, and they decided to all shape together. Like, all of the corpus decided not to do Pride Month this year, you know? Like, it's all together. It's always like programmed. It's always like part of something that they all decide and not us. So no one will convince me that, oh, this is a W, we are winning. Of course, this is good. We are tired of this bullshit, but we need to start questioning ourselves of why this happened. Why this happened? Because they never do anything good. They're like planning for us to have any good at all. Only when it in rare cases it happens to match with what they want in the end, but in most of cases, like in their totality, it's always to screw up us even more, you know? Yeah, that's it. That's my impression. Oh, Mr. Kira is so conspirationist. Fuck it, okay? I don't care. If we are in 2025, look at the fucking world and tell me that I'm wrong in being conspirationist at this point, okay? Look at my fucking country, for example, huh? And I'm wrong for thinking like that?
Underpin them. Same
Screw
goes
you.
for obesity and fat acceptance. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's very little of this in advertising at the moment. There's very little of it in the entertainment and media spaces as well. And I think with the rise of Ozempic and similar type drugs, you see a lot of people now who are able to achieve their weight loss goals with very little effort, and I think that means that body positivity has fallen flat on its face. Which to me is super interesting and probably warrants its own video, because it's like, I think it goes to show this whole thing about, oh, love yourself really only applies until you have the ability to actually look how you want without having to put in a ton of effort. Anyway, from celebrities to runways to media and entertainment, everyone seems to have said enough with the ugly. Now, instead of the Chapel Roans of the world, the golden girls of the hour are attractive women like Sabrina Carpenter and Sydney Sweeney. There has been this enormous shift away from the non-binary genderqueer aesthetic in the direction of normal again, with celebrities who once embraced all of this suddenly turning away from it. Runway shows, award shows are suddenly back to having people in normal clothes or beautiful gowns again. Ads and media are giving us attractive people again. Body positivity and fat acceptance is nowhere near as popular in advertising anymore. Movies like Barbie, for example, with its hyper-feminine aesthetic and lead actress Margot Robbie have popped up, appealing to millions of women with the emphasis on being feminine again. Even TikTok has promoted things like the mob wife aesthetic. I've had a lot of trouble saying that. Wearing fur coats, bold lipstick, and Barbiecore, which is exactly what it sounds like. So you might be asking, why the change? Why is everything suddenly cute and hot and skinny and conventional again? The simple answer is that celebrities and brands were trying to convince the rest of us that they were promoting self-love and self-acceptance by leaning into and embracing qualities and traits that weren't conventionally attractive. But the sudden abandonment of these specific aesthetics really goes to show that at its core, the push for all of this was really just marketing at the end of the day. Celebrities, brands, companies, whatever,
I don't think
saw
it's
an
shallow as
opportunity
the
to make
market.
themselves more relatable and human, I guess, by hopping on the ugly train because their fans and viewers and whoever else were jumping on the ugly train. Really, I just blame TikTok at this point. Brands saw a new sales demographic and marketing avenue, and everybody ran with it until they realized that the average normal person absolutely hates all of this. And I think that's actually a bit of a trend that I'm noticing here overall with these sort of issues, that there's so many people who misunderstand that what's popular on the internet is not actually popular among regular everyday people. And that's why these initiatives and these movements and whatnot fail on a long enough timeline, because normal people get sick of it, they eventually switch off, then brands notice that they can't make money from these sort of people anymore because we're not interested, and then little by little the entire movement, ideology, whatever it is, completely falls in a heap. So in the end, obviously there is a ton to talk about when it comes to the uglification of society and culture and what have you, but as a general rule, I really believe that people are entitled to dress however they really want to. And as much as I am partial to dressing alternatively,
of course, you are free to wear yourself whatever you want to, the way you want to. You are free to have tattoos. You are free even to be a drag queen or whatever you want, okay? You are free to that. But you are also free to reap the consequences of the way you wear yourself in society. I'd said it many times already. The way you wear yourself for the others, for the society to see you, it's not the only way that they gonna see you, that they will shape, like the way they see you is, it's how they gonna have you, like oh my god, my mind going blank, went blank. The way that you're portraying yourself, the way that you wear your clothes, if you have tattoos or not, it's gonna tell everything the society needs to know. And by society, I mean you, I mean others, I mean people around you will think about you, like, but there is no way, like how our brains are made to recognize patterns. Our brains are busy in doing that. It's like, it's top one tier of what our brains can do, like our brains specialized on it. And because of this given reason, you're gonna reap consequences for wearing yourself like that. And you cannot like just think and wanna punish people for not accepting the way you are. Like, you will reap for what you're doing. And actually, it's not the only problem, because when you portray yourself like that, with that types of clothing, with tattoos and etc., it is actually a reflection of who you are inside. And the fact is that these people, these drag queens, these, you know, these people, these walk-tards and etc., they are so messed up inside. Like, they are so exquisite, so strange, so kind of devilish inside, that they become so ugly like that outside as well. Like, one cannot be different from the other, you know. That's just no way that you can separate one thing on the other. I mean, I mean, you can, but you have to consciously, intentionally do that. And you cannot do that the entire time. Like, how you were outside is exactly, it shows already at least a very good idea of who you are inside. It's undeniable. You can't deny that. Okay? It's how things work. It's how things work. Appearance matters. Appearance matters in society. Appearance matters in everything. In everything in your life. Be relationship, everything. Literally everything. Okay? We cannot keep playing this bullshit game like, but what matters is it's how the person is inside and etc. Blah blah blah. We know that is bullshit and that isn't true. Of course, like even the now I'm talking about beer here. If you're born ugly or if you're born pretty, of course there is a limitation in what you can do, and that is not your fault. Okay, you were born like that. If you're born pretty, you won lottery. If you're born ugly, you lost. Like, it's in part like that. But you can do a lot of stuff on that, and you should. Not for relationship, not for anything like that, but for you to have a better quality of life. You know, for you to get better jobs, better opportunities, and literally everything, or just to hide from society, just for not be an enemy of the society. You know. Literally, like, I could think, I can think in a lot of reasons for that. Oh my god, this video is so huge. Oh my god, let us finish.
And being a little bit edgy, I am very, very glad to see the end of this weird period of time and the uglification of fashion and makeup and what have you. And if I'm being honest, I'm going to cross my fingers and toes and pray and hope that whatever we have just lived through does not make a resurgence. Now, on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder, check out Chubby's using the link in the description. Like I said, this is a person who is part of our community, so go and show them some love. Go and check out their cute little plushies. And obviously,
I still think that Chubby's is a good idea. It is. It's very
Now,
neat.
I open the
I
floor
liked
to
it.
all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you think that this last, I don't know, decade or so has been uniquely ugly and terrible? Do you think that it's actually a good thing that people have the ability to express themselves like this, and regardless of their reasons, they should be able to do so? Do you think that all of this is a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Should we prioritize conventionally attractive things, or should we highlight things on the other side of the aisle? What do you think of the fat acceptance movement, the body positivity movement, the transgender movement, and all of the aesthetics that come along with those things? Are they good? Are they bad? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? I'm sorry about my dog bark.
Before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, that support my work here on YouTube, and especially my 5-tail fox tier member, Zalost, and my 3-tail fox tier members, Heath Rowell, Fenny Sylvy, and YaBoiSheen, for the incredible support to my work. Thank you very, very much. You guys are amazing. Also, thanks to everyone who donated to me through Tron, and to all of my YouTube members. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon, link is in the description below. I think that in the end it doesn't matter what we think. Society will keep, like, the gears will keep working, will keep like functioning the way that they always were. And what we want or not, and what we think and not, it doesn't really matter. And the only thing that we can do, and we actually are not even sure if it's still like will actually matter in the future. But the only thing that we can do that will actually at least help someone indirectly is spread awareness and try to search for the truth and speak truth and be honest, and that's all we can do. Anything else, like it's fight individually for our lives every day to make it better, to make it the least heavier as possible, to bring yourself your own happiness, you know, like with all your might, with all you can. like every day. This is all you can do for yourself, and if you wanna do something for others, just bring these same words that you're receiving here to other people that you think that it needs some help to, and hopefully that person will start moving their lives like you're doing, like doing the same things that you're doing, and hopefully in some months or years that person will have a bit better quality of life, or a bit better future, brighter future, or maybe I don't know even what I'm saying anymore. I think I did a lot of projector here today. Yes, yeah, that is true. But in fact, I'm here for like what? I was due a complete 10 months that I'm here on day 22. But you guys changed my life a lot already. Even though my country is still fighting a lot to make things worse every single day in a very fast pace, more than I could imagine. You guys literally helped me a lot, and I'm very grateful to all of you. And I hope that I somehow can and being helpful to all of you as well, or at least some of you. Yeah, I think I got a little bit emotional. I'm sorry. I'm gonna end this video.
Barking in the background. As always, if you've made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you're not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Of course, and as always, I hope you little chicken people stay safe and well and make good choices, because those are important, and I will see your pretty little faces in the next video.
Like I said, it was a good video. Well, thank everyone. I got kind of emotional and projectional in the end, but just ignore that, okay? It's just me doing me, being annoying as always, and always complaining about my daily life stuff. Yes, I'm sorry for that. I try my best to I'm trying my best to not keep doing this, but it's very hard. Like, if you research this on Google, and you're gonna understand that it's very hard to. I'm sorry, very hard to not to. Thank everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check my links below, Patreon, Discord, and Troll. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.